Hey everybody, this is Rydo, and we are back with another episode of Tomb Raider. So, one thing I want you to be aware of is, one, the graphics. Yes, the graphics look lovely. This is a really nice design section of the game with no people wandering around or any animals or any AI. So yes, it could look good. Oh wait, there's some birds over there. But I also want you to be aware of, more importantly, the sections of this game that are straight on story, where it's point A, point B, there are no side missions, you never get back to those sections type stuff. And what parts of this game are more open world? Art gallery unlocked, main menu extras. In a lot of ways it breaks immersion. It breaks immersion to unlock things in the game. It's not something I particularly want. Oops, I think I'm going the right direction. I don't want. Never go the right direction the first time. Go the wrong direction. I have half a mind to jump over there. They're all collectibles in this game. I don't feel like I'm going to probably get them all, and I'm not going to work super hard to find them. Particularly since it's parts of this game you can't go back to, and parts of this game you can.
The lifeboat. Where are they? They must have gone inland.
It's very possible that I'll just miss one collectible and never be able to go back. So, wait a minute. This is where the story starts to get confusing and only gets worse. Did the survivors that we saw at the very beginning get back on the lifeboat and then move? Or is this the same position that I was at before and I'm just now significantly further away? I guess she doesn't know any more than I know. Take in the atmosphere. That's what this is all about. Still in the tutorial mode.
Okay, take it slow.
Alright, I think it's pretty much stopped now, and I have to actually move. Yeah. At least it didn't put a quick time event or... say, press forward to walk forward, since we've been playing the game for about 30 minutes now, and we've been pressing forward to walk forward. Alright, that's cool.
Okay.
She's supposed to just be like an intern archaeologist too. Like, this is a school trip, basically. No, I may be totally wrong about that. She may be, like, not actually an intern or an archaeologist. We'll get further in the story, I suppose. Each one of these is really great, but they're all completely scripted. 100%. So it's not like there's an engine in the game that is really handling walking across the tree as much as that is just a small section of the game that was custom programmed. And it's not like we spend a significant amount of the time in the game walking across trees. We do jump, but I don't think we jump to ledges that often. So...
Huh? Okay.
Now we've got this, like, old Chinese plane just hanging here that we're gonna have to crawl across and do a little bit of platforming. The beginning part of this game is, what I'm trying to emphasize here is the beginning part of this game is significantly different. Almost like it just at one point just loads into a totally different game. And we'll see the change. It's pretty gradual, but you'll see how it goes from being platforming to a first-person shooter. I guess I'm supposed to jump up. How she could jump and grab something with the up and A to jump. A lot of this is like, feels like it was straight stolen from Nathan Drake, possibly. Some other platforms. In particular, you don't do a lot of that at all in the game. Maybe you do that 2 or 3 more times, from what I remember. I have very fuzzy memory. It has been 2 years, but not a lot of not a lot of platforming. Maybe they intended for a lot more than happened, but it got cut. It got cut out and replaced with something more generic, more first-person shooter, just more people to kill. There was really never a point in this game that I recall that it was hard to transverse or get from point A to point B. A few places, I suppose, where it took a little bit of time to get it right. Walls.
Sam's pack.
Who's Sam? It would have been nice if they had shown a scene where we got to know people. Because you spend a lot of this game looking for people that, while Laura Croft, the character, may know, I have no idea who they are, what their name is, and what relationship they have to Laura. We got a video camcorder.
Sam? Roth? Can anyone hear me?
Okay.
I've got to find them.
You get the radio, the 2-way radio, which is a really nice thing to get added right now because I want to throw out my personal fan theory when I first played this. Eventually, she obviously talks to people on the radio. My theory, particularly how this game started, where we were just in this crazy, like, cannibal place and all of that. My theory, which this is not true, but I want you to think about it as we go through the series, is that she hit her head when escaping the ship, and all of this is just a hallucination / dream. And I don't know how far I would have taken it, but halfway between all of it just being a dream and she'd just wake up somewhere would have been that she actually did do these things, but the people she was talking to on the radio were all dead, and she knew they were dead, and she was hallucinating that part. Now, that is a little bit of a spoiler to say that isn't the case, but yeah, I thought it was pretty cool. Another thing I think is cool, even though I don't like these visions, I like how it stays on here. I don't have to hold a controller as long as I don't move. So you can stand in this position, and as soon as you take a step up, it goes away. But you can't turn it off by tapping the button again, which is a problem in itself. section coastal forest. So I think we might actually have just made it to an open world section. And all of a sudden it gets colder and rainier and the environment changes a little bit. The environment on this island is wild because it's like 5 different locations on what is supposed to be a tiny isolated island off the coast of Japan or China, somewhere in there close. So I see something there, can't do anything with it. It's like a tribal thing. Oh, I think those might actually be collectibles that you have to shoot with a bow. Spoiler, we're gonna get a bow. She falls a lot in this game. For a character who at times is used to argue is a strong, independent female, this game in particular has her falling and getting hurt and stumbling a lot.
Looks abandoned.
Even in the very first cutscene, she's about to drown and she's saved by a man, and then she jumps and the man catches her, then the man lets her down, so I guess that keeps it balanced. I'm not going to go into that conversation a lot, so rest assured this will probably be the last time I talk about it. But this is also supposed to be her beginning of her journeys, and I suppose if you were going to eventually turn out to be a super badass adventurer, your first expedition at it would be pretty bad and you'd fall a lot. Those are giant matches. Comedically large matches. That match was as long as her pointer finger. She's sitting out in the rain, trying to warm up, but arguably she could have.
Soon-to-be world-famous archaeologist Lara Croft in her native habitat. She's on the hunt for the lost kingdom of Yamato.
So this is Sam.
Fabulous Himiko.
She could have used the rain to wash off some of the blood on her and dirt on her.
Sam,
She just gets dirtier and dirtier the whole game.
I know. I'm just trying to lighten the mood here. Everyone's so on edge. What are you so worried about?
1080i.
I'm close to something. I'm sure of it. I just don't know if the others will listen. Or even if they should.
Lara, you know this stuff better than anyone. Seriously. I'm not just saying this to make you feel better. I trust you. Roth trusts you. You got this. Now let's take a break, okay?
Okay. And Sam, thanks.
She's not always this serious, you know?
Come on, tackle it!
How can you suggest I'm not serious about this expedition, Lara? It's not just Sam's family funding us. I put my savings on the line, too.
We've all got some kind of stake in this. The funding won't last forever, Whitman.
That's precisely why we should push east, not west.
No one believes Yamata is that far east. The books simply don't support it.
Well, whoever wrote those books never found Yamatai.
I've talked to Roth about this. There's no point in following in other people's footsteps, Dr. Whitman.
I refuse to bet my reputation on your hunch. I'm the lead archaeologist here.
And when were you last in the field without a TV crew behind you?
Got 30 years experience, 2 PhDs, 1 in East Asian history. So why don't you just stick to boats, Mr. Grimm?
Ship, Dr. Whitman. It's a ship. Don't need a PhD to know
Look,
that.
going east will take us directly into the Dragon's Triangle. That's where we need to go.
Lara, my little bird. I'd follow you almost anywhere, but that place has a bad energy.
Bad storms, more like. Makes the Bermuda Triangle look like Disney World. Sign me up.
The stories about Queen Himiko say she could summon storms. Myths are usually based on some version of the truth. What if Yamatai was somewhere in the triangle itself?
Look, this is the satellite imagery from inside the Dragon's Triangle.
That doesn't look good.
If it's wet, I can sail on it.
Oh, don't tell me you're seriously
Reyes is right. We don't have the funds to piss about. It's now or never. Lara's offering fresh ideas and a plan. I'm the captain here. It's my decision. We're going into the Dragon's Triangle.
Why am I even here?
So it's all her fault, basically. They found where they were looking for, but she doesn't know that yet.
I can't just sit here. I've got to find something to eat.
New camp discovered. So I don't like when you come out of cutscenes and you're far away from where you were. You really need to be standing right about here looking at the fire. So you, even a few steps in this direction facing this way, you're like, well, am I in a totally different place? Only if somebody turns around and looks will they see that they aren't. So you'd think now that she's healed, that stab wound has scabbed over, she's no longer in pain, but don't worry, she'll fall down and rip those stitches open. Well, no stitches, scabs. Yeah, something else I wanted to mention. We should have probably had that scene at the beginning, where you were getting that 45 minutes in. And we're on some island near Japan, more than China, I suppose. Oh yes, I wanted to mention the Bermuda Triangle.
God. What's going on here? Wait, I can use that bow.
Guy's just hanging upside down with a bow on a strange trap. It's actually a myth that the Bermuda Triangle has any more shipwrecks than any other location. It's just basically a story that was cool to think about, so people buy into it. If there was a section that was more likely to sink ships, people would just sail around it, almost certainly. There are sections. Usually they are sections that have a lot of rocks and no lighthouses and strong undertows and currents. But there is no area where ships just disappear for no reason. The closest thing we would have to that would be
I can do this.
If you sailed a ship too close to a hostile territory. So I gotta lean when it swings and grab it. And I actually accomplished that too early. Makeshift longbow.
This thing still works. Just remember Roth's training.
You can have the best form and technique in the world, but it won't mean a thing if you can't focus. The key to using any weapon is focus.
So, now we've gotten to weapons.
So hungry. I need to find something to eat.
We can see some arrows and bunnies, I believe. Get some more arrows. There's something in the back of this truck. It happened again, Private.
Private Kosuke. He was on gate duty last night. No one heard anything. And this morning, they found his helmet. Nothing else. No tracks of his leaving, no blood, no shell casings. Nothing. The others are talking about Chinese partisans. Maybe even American GIs. Damn fools! They have no idea what's happening here. It is the Oni who stalk us. The restless, evil spirits. They live in the old places of this island. We are trespassers here, and they are watching us, waiting. All these wrecks, the ruins, this entire island is a graveyard. It's only a matter of time. The Oni will come for us.
So, glad I didn't have to read that. Alright, so we're in the menu. We can at least, let's see. At some point, this island had Japanese soldiers on it. And apparently we already know that there are some things, some documents located in certain places. Let's see. And some kind of herbs, collectibles, and some kind of gear upgrades, and some survival skills, and all of this. Like, and then a map, and some other stuff. So that's the menu. We get to it. I don't know, I guess pressing the back button. Yep. I hate this new two menu thing that games have gone to now. Start button to get to game menu options, and then a second menu to do all the parts of the game. I see something, so we press the left trigger, and then it's a bird. So we'll kill a bird. That's something to eat, right? Where'd it go? There it is. It's kinda hard to see. I will give this game points for the skinning animation being a quick and easy thing. Even in a game that just came out, The Witcher 3, they did this whole trophy skinning animation that took about, I'd say about 20 seconds every time you did it. You didn't do it a lot, but boy was it unwelcome every single time. I don't want to sit around and watch a character skin an animal. I'm willing to accept that it may need to happen in the game, in this fictitious story, but I don't want to just watch them do it. So I'm willing to suspend my disbelief and say, okay. Just like that. I mean, that was really perfect. Just a quick swipe of the knife, way faster than would be humanly possible. Oh, there's something. And we'll just... So that's a
some
GPS
kind of container.
cache.
Who left these behind?
Getting arrows, getting GPS. Finding this stuff actually gives you experience, and experience will give you skills. So, which way am I supposed to be going? Oh no. So, we saw one of these. Challenge unlocked. Complete for XP. So I'm looking for totems now. There we go. Is this thing gonna drop? Maybe it needed to. So apparently you can't eat a bird to complete this quest. Come on. Take that thing and stab it in the... Take an arrow and stab it in the neck. Don't make it suffer. Or stab it in the heart if you can get it to the heart. That wasn't really a mercy killing of slitting the throat as much as you were just gutting it for
Right, back to camp.
1 skill point. Return to the base.
All right, Mother. You won't always have some fancy gadget to tell you where you are. If you can learn to read the land and the stars, you'll always be able to find your way home.
What happened to my friend? Oh no, you killed him. I assume you do more powerful and more damage if you kind of time that. Or maybe it's just more accurate. If she is gonna eat that deer, it's gonna be a lot of work. I don't have the knowledge. I would definitely struggle trying to figure out how to skin and gut and eat a deer. Mostly, I think your best bet is just to try to cut what you think is muscle and cook it as thoroughly as possible. Can I shoot GPS caches? Doesn't seem like I can. Oh, it's starting to vibrate. So you can't hold it that long. Well, nope, you can't shoot GPS caches. So that means I need to figure out how to get up here. At some point. But I'll deal with that later, I guess. So you're at your camp. This is your fast travel, this is your skills, this is everything. It's a cool concept that didn't really get picked up as much as it should have been. Really. So since I am a skill level rookie, buy 7 more skills to unlock tier 2 hardened. So I guess I can buy these right now, and then I can get like a tier 2. Now this is survivor, but you also have hunter to spend it on. So steady shot, probably something useful. Let's see. Ammo capacity. We're not gonna, spoiler, we're not gonna have a gun for a while. This is locked because of tier 2 hardened. This is locked for tier 3 specialist. So, of the ones you can do, there's two: steady shot and ammo capacity, which would be a mistake. Or you can get extra rewards when looting animal animal corpses and food caches. Or thoroughly search crates and caches for extra salvage. Bone collector. Carefully looting animal corpses will reward extra salvage. Arrow retrieval. Resourceful archers can recover arrows from the bodies of enemies. Spot hidden pockets on enemy corpses for extra ammunition. And then so it's basically extra rewards for something. For looting animal corpses and food caches. Well, you're not going to do a lot of that in the game. And you're really not going to do a lot of that in the game. And it gives you salvage. And I don't know what you even do with the salvage. I don't remember. I do remember, however, that without buying the DLC, you could not unlock everything on this level. So, fortunately, I do have the DLC, which I think is going to allow for this. We'll just take Survivalist. Loot animal corpses and food caches for extra XP. Well, gee, if they had just said it was for extra XP, I would have taken it immediately. Extra rewards for extra salvage, So, of all the choices, Survivalist you absolutely need to get first. No question about it. If you'd picked anything else, it would have been a mistake. Hunter upgrades, Survivor upgrades, and that's skills. And then we have two more things that are unavailable.
This is Conrad Roth, captain of the Endurance. We are shipwrecked on an island inside the Dragon's Triangle.
Roth!
Lara!
You're alive!
Easy, easy. Are you okay? What happened?
I remember the beach. Then it went black and I woke up in a cave. There was this crazy man, Roth, and a dead body.
Oh, God. Where are you now, Lara? Are you safe?
It was so horrible. It's all my fault. This is all my fault.
Lara, listen to me. I sent an SOS from the Endurance before I abandoned her. Hopefully someone caught it. I've spoken to the others. We're regrouping at my location.
Please come and get me.
I have to stay here. You can do this, Lara. Remember when we climbed Snowden? You said the key was knowing that all you've got to do is just keep moving. Remember everything I've taught you, Lara. You're ready for this. And keep your radio on.
Okay.
Okay, so as we're wrapping up, 2 points there. This is where, if you wanted to believe the story was all just her hallucinating, then that would totally explain why he has to stay there. But he also has to stay there because everybody else is meeting up with him in that location. So that isn't really that questionable. But the much more interesting and funny thing now in 2015 is that he says, remember when we climbed Snowden? Now apparently there must be a mountain called Snowden somewhere. But in 2015, which happened well after this game came out, there was a pretty famous guy called Edward Snowden who released evidence about the United States government spying on basically everybody, including its own citizens, for basically no reason. And he is probably the Snowden who will be remembered in history a lot more than the mountain. So my silly mind goes, oh, they climbed over a guy? Whatever. Uh, Anywho, that's it for this episode. We are in our first open world area, but it's a real small open world area. We'll probably spend some time uh, running around, take a little bit of break from the story because it's kind of hard to get back to the section. Uh, as always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment if you want to, and watch every second of my videos. All that helps out. If you want to support me, you can click on my name, Rydo. On the right will be a blue button that says support this channel. Click it and make a donation. And if you want to friend and follow me on basically any social media sites, there's a whole bunch of links down below. Thank you if you do. Thanks for watching. Have a good evening.